We have a very aggressive agenda this year. You hear from some of the industry's best minds and most experienced players handpicked for this conference, covering the economic outlook and what it will mean for us, digital tools and how they will impact how we work, what new economies and emerging markets offer us, and what trends we need to be aware of to position ourselves for competitive advantage and growth.
I'm Bob Murray, Vice President of Economic Affairs for McGraw-Hill Construction. Today we presented our forecast for 2011 construction activity, and the forecast is calling for an 8% gain in total construction starts. A lot of the increase is coming from single-family housing from a very low level, and also for a slight pickup for commercial building after being at record low levels in 2009 and 2010. The areas of concern would be the public works sector and also institutional building, which continue to be dampened by the tough fiscal climate at the state and local level. Also a problem there would be fading support from the federal stimulus bill. Now with any forecast there's always a lot of uncertainty, and I think the key for next year is what is going to happen to job growth, which is very important because essentially with job growth comes some improvement in the still weak market fundamentals for commercial building, and also with job growth comes more household formation, which would benefit single-family housing. I mean, that being said, an 8% gain in terms of total construction starts still represents a fairly modest increase relative to past cycles.
We feel that the housing recovery is likely to begin at the lower end of the market, but it's taking much longer than usual to work through these issues. So the outlook is for reasonably modest improvement for at least the next 2 years in terms of home building, and not getting back to the longer term trend until 2013, 2014. Remodeling has gone through a 3-year decline. Looks like it is now poised for a recovery, with leading economic indicators pointing for a double-digit growth nationally over the next year.
The U.S. economy did hit bottom. It appears to be in the third quarter of 2009. Housing, however, has been in recession for 3 years and seems to be stabilizing. Overseas partners are recovering and helping exports. The dollar's strength has hurt the trade deficit. Fiscal stimulus helped to boost the economy, but will be withdrawn in 2011. You want to be thinking strategically about what you can do to make the economy improve.
You can see how rapidly, from when we first reported in 2005 on the green marketplace, at that time we were looking at non-residential at around $3 billion in green and residential at around $7 billion, giving us around $10 billion in 2005. And look at the rapid growth we've seen. In 2008, total we were looking at around $42 billion, and this year looking at somewhere between $55 to $71 billion for the green market. You can also see on the chart the growth rate with regard to the commercial, non-residential sector, how rapidly that's moved. But look here at 2010, we have reached where, even though the market has shrunk in terms of non-residential construction, the demand for green has increased at a very rapid rate. If I then go from 2010 out to 2015, we can see here we're looking at around $302 billion from 154, starting to recover some of this market in the non-residential area. When I overlay the green estimate for 2015 there, we see that we're looking at around $145 billion. That's representing about 50%, basically half of what's going to be built in 5 years will be green. No matter what goes on in the marketplace, green isn't going to shift. We're not going to see that go away because it's becoming a standard.
As we meet again next year, if we ask ourselves, what a difference a year makes, I hope at that point we'll be able to say, yes, it really seems that renewed expansion is close at hand.